If you don't like geography but still love a good mystery, a tale of intrigue, or a story where the past dramatically shapes the present, then listen up, because Africa's most explosive secrets, the root causes of many conflicts, and the keys to understanding its complex present are hidden in plain sight on a map. It's a cartographic puzzle with profound human consequences. Let's rewind to 1884, the Berlin Conference, a pivotal moment that continues to reverberate today. Imagine a room full of European leaders, powerful men from across the continent, carving Africa up like a birthday cake, slicing and dicing territories with little regard for what already existed. No one asked local tribes what they wanted. Their voices were absent, their desires ignored. Borders were drawn with rulers and ink, lines etched onto maps with cold precision, not with any care for real people, for the lives that would be irrevocably altered, or centuries-old communities. Ancient kingdoms and long-standing alliances were simply erased. Overnight, over 10,000 groups, distinct cultures, languages, and traditions were squeezed into about 50 new countries. Artificial constructs imposed from afar, enemies forced to share a flag, groups with deep-seated animosities suddenly sharing a national identity, families split by a line, communities torn asunder, their connections severed by arbitrary boundaries. The scene was set for chaos. The seeds of future conflict were sown in that very room. Fast forward to today, more than a century later, those same borders still slice through Africa. The legacy of colonialism endures, etched into the landscape. In places like Sudan, a nation grappling with internal divisions and external pressures, Ethiopia, a land of ancient history and complex ethnic dynamics, and Congo, a vast and resource-rich nation plagued by instability, old lines spark new wars. The ghosts of the Berlin Conference continue to haunt the continent. Ethiopia's Tigray conflict, a brutal and devastating war, fueled by divisions deepened by colonial borders, ethnic tensions exacerbated by artificial boundaries. Sudan's Darfur crisis, a humanitarian catastrophe with deep historical roots, also linked to these invisible scars. The wounds of the past continue to fester in the present. The map looks tidy, neat lines, and clearly defined territories, but reality is anything but. The situation on the ground is far more complex and chaotic. And then there's Africa's resources, a treasure trove of natural wealth, oil, the black gold that fuels economies and ignites conflicts. Gold, a symbol of power and prosperity, often extracted at a great human cost. Diamonds, sparkling gems that have financed wars and fueled corruption, trapped inside shaky states. Resources that could lift nations out of poverty instead become sources of instability. Foreign powers rush in, drawn by the allure of resources and strategic advantage. Warlords and governments competing for power and control fight for control. The struggle for resources becomes a battle for survival. Wealth becomes a curse, a paradox of plenty amidst widespread poverty, as much as a blessing. A double-edged sword that can cut both ways. Can these borders be fixed? Is it possible to undo the damage of the past? Some say redraw the lines, create new nations based on ethnic or cultural lines, but that risks more conflict. Redrawing borders can unleash a new wave of violence and displacement. Others hope for stronger African unity instead. A vision of a united continent transcending colonial divisions. Change is slow, a long and arduous process, but local voices are growing louder. The people of Africa are demanding a say in their own future. Here's the truth, a hard and uncomfortable reality. Until the lines on Africa's map, these arbitrary divisions imposed from afar, mean something real to the people who live there. Until they reflect the true identities and aspirations of the communities they divide, these hidden wars won't disappear. The underlying tensions will continue to simmer beneath the surface. History's borders still bleed. The wounds of colonialism continue to inflict pain on the African continent.